Good morning, guys. So welcome to week 12 of making Nevermorrow. This is the final week for the Kickstarter, the final days. As of this morning when I left for work, it was at 58 hours. So by 7:30 tonight will be 48 hours, which will be the very final stretch for the Kickstarter. So last night, after watching Game of Thrones with the wife, I should say, I set up a whole ton of promo images. So essentially, like all the same stuff they've been posting, with like 1 week left, 5 days left, 4 days left. Now I've brought it down to hours, same as Kickstarter. So what I've done is I laid it all out on a piece of paper just so I could see it, because if I did it all in my head, I just would have got lost and confused. It would take forever. So the way I set it up was 72 hours left, 48 hours left, 24 hours left, 12 hours left, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I've done all those images, set them up on Buffer, which I've spoken about before. So that allows me to schedule the post. So what I've done there is, on those exact hours, Buffer will post on my behalf. So in any case that I might be busy, or I'm away from the computer, or I'm away from anything, it will still post for me. So it'll give people the that last little push to say, hey, there's not long to go, get on board. I'm sure it's going to annoy a ton of people, but it's the complete last day. And as I've said before, when you've only got 30 hours, you might as well go in swinging, because when you only got 30 days, you might as well go in swinging, because this is the only time you have to really amp up those sales. And we're still one stretch goal away to get the extra 8 pages, which will beef the book up to I think it was 44 pages, I think it was. I can't even remember right now. I'm so sort of out of it. So I did that. I set all those up last night. It took me a lot longer than I thought it would. I was also meant to record a podcast last night, but that fell through, which I mentioned in last week's episode. Oh, and also, before I forget, at this current point, I'm still having trouble getting episode 11 up. So hopefully I'll have it fixed by today or tomorrow. But I can't figure out what's going on. For some reason, iMovie's just having a shit fit and won't even render the movie, let alone upload it to YouTube for me. So I've got to figure out what's going on there. I might have to shorten the video and cut some time-lapse stuff out or something. I don't know. Hopefully not, because, I was pretty happy with the way it was done. It's also got me thinking I might have to start changing the way I edit my videos and start doing everything in Premiere Pro rather than in iMovie. As easy as it is, apparently anything over 15 minutes it has trouble handling. So I don't know. Okay, so then this morning I woke up and I started colouring the postcards. Watched Gazbot's final episode, part 2 of, I think it was episode 48, part 2 of the Horror A4 report. And it was kind of sad to know that was it. Like, that's it. He's done now. That project's done. Everything's sent out. He's succeeded in everything he achieved when he started his, the Horror A4 report. So there you go. Congratulations, guys. You've blown me away, and you've re-inspired me, and I'm looking forward to now sort of the end part of this Kickstarter, and looking forward to that final feeling of all those orders being sent off and everything being done and dusted. So congratulations again. I look forward to receiving the book. I'm sure it's going to take maybe an extra week, given international mail. Fingers crossed, maybe it'll be here this week, who knows. But I can't wait to read it anyway, man. I'm sure it's going to be absolutely awesome. So I watched that, and then I coloured in the postcards. So coloured in makes me sound like I used crayons or something. But no, I did it all in Manga Studio. So I've coloured up 2 of the images. There's a booze bus up ahead. Hopefully I'm not going to get stopped, because that'd be bloody annoying, because I've got to go to work. No, looks like it's on the other side. I am safe. Not that I've been drinking. It's only 10 a.m. at the moment, so yes. Wow, I can't believe they're hitting people this early. That's insane. I suppose get people when they least expect it. You never know who you'll catch. So there you go. There you go. Don't drink and drive, kids. It's bad. Bad. All right. Where was I? I lost track. Okay, I was coloring the pictures. I finished 2. I finished the guard image, and I finished the Professor Mannix image. So all I've got left now is Ozma and the spaceship. The postcard's done. I now have to design the next print as well. Tonight, though, when I get home, I've got a podcast to record with Chumba. So hopefully that'll at least go up tonight, hopefully. There shouldn't be a lot of editing involved in that, which will make it easy. And then after that, I will be inking. No! Oh man, I'm going out for dinner with the in-laws tonight. I will try and get some inking done at least while I'm recording the podcast, because I need to. Tomorrow, the next 3 days I have off, so I really need to slog it to really get on track. I mean, I keep telling myself that I'm not going to be printing till the end of June anyway, which gives me that extra month, as I've told the backers, so the backers know that there's sort of an extra month of, fiddling around and getting things right. So that's going to be a real saviour for me, because I just didn't expect the busyness of a Kickstarter. I thought, especially like I keep saying, on top of having a baby, I thought I'd still be able to ink everything and sort of be running smoothly whilst I was running the Kickstarter. I really underestimated how much extra work I'd be doing. So there you go. Alright, I'll leave you guys alone. I'm going to listen to some music before I get into work. Get myself sort of amped up for the day. 5 hours, and then I am homeward bound and back to work. Bye. So it's Wednesday. I'm off to Matt's for a coffee catch-up. I was going to say a sketch session, but it's not a sketch session. It's just a coffee catch-up. I've got a bunch of old video games I'm going to give his kids, so perfect excuse to catch up for a coffee. So currently, at this point, we are just under the 36-hour mark left for the Kickstarter, which is crazy. Like yesterday, I was like, oh yeah, the 72 hours. Now that it's like 36 hours, I'm like, holy shit. Okay, now it's like, this is fucking real. Like last night was obviously the 48-hour mark, but 36 hours, just like 48, I was like, oh yeah, cool, I've got a couple of days left. Now it's like, there's a day and a half left. Like, there's nearly only a day left. Like, the more time goes on today, like, in the next 9 hours, there's only a day left. Like, what the freaking hell? So now I'm just doing the pushes to get people to pledge. I even did one on Snapchat. I discovered that you can actually send photos through Snapchat, but it seems that they only send through as a message rather than as like a snap itself. So you can't add like emoticons and stuff, but you can still write text. So I just took a screenshot of the Kickstarter page, posted that up. I actually got people replying, like people who like there's rappers and stuff in Australia that I follow, like, because I just like to watch them post all their tour snaps and stuff. And like Dylan Joel, one of the rappers that I follow, replied to me. He's like, oh man, it looks fucking awesome, I'll have to check it out, can't wait to see when it's done. Just friends who I haven't spoken to in a while who are like, oh yeah, sweet, I get paid this week, so I'll put in my pledge. So I think I got like 1 or 2 pledges out of that, which was great, so it was worthwhile to do it. And then this morning I woke up, must have been pretty tired because I slept through my alarm, so I didn't get up till 7. But I got into the studio, checked out my updates, made sure everything was okay, had a few emails, and then I got into opened up Manga Studio and got cracking again on the postcard. So I've got 3 postcards officially finished now. So I was doing the spaceship, and that one was a particularly tricky one, just because there's like lots of little bits and pieces. So I'm trying to keep it simple. I don't want to sort of overdo it with the colours. I just want to keep it nice and flat with some sort of soft tones throughout. But that one had like a couple of planets, and I started experimenting trying to get the planet looking more planety. I don't know if I succeeded, but I'm pretty happy with the end result. I didn't want to overdo it again. Like I said, the rest of the piece was coloured quite simply, so but the planet was just so flat, it just didn't look like a planet to me. So I needed to add some texture into it without taking away from the rest of the piece. So that's done. I posted those finished 3. I'm pretty sure I said yesterday I finished the other 2. So I posted those 3 onto the Kickstarter so people can see them, but I made it public. So I'm pretty sure I can share updates. So once I get home from Matt's, I'll probably share that throughout social media and say, here you go. Or at least I can just post the picture and say, here's some of the postcards. You will get these if you pledge. You've only got 36-ish hours. Really, really pushing. Like, I was looking at it today, and I think I'm about $2,660-ish, which means that I'm only a few $100s away from the $3,000 stretch goal, which means I can beef the book up. And I know I've already spoken about it, but if I can really beef this book up, I'll be so happy, because I really, really, really want to get that extra content in, especially with the pin-ups. Like, at the moment I've got 3 pages put aside for the pin-ups, but there's a chance that I'm going to have to sort of flip them to landscape and have 2 up on a page. I don't really want to do that, because that'll take away from the pin-ups themselves. So that means I'm going to have to be selective. So a part of me is thinking like, oh, maybe why don't I just just for the heck of it, if I'm pretty close and I've got enough money, I could just increase the page size myself, and it'd be a nice surprise for the backers. So we'll see what happens. I know some people don't really care for behind the scenes stuff, but I know artists like myself do. So I think it's going to be a 50-50 toss up about people who want to do that. Want to push for it. Whereas, it's like they've already backed it. They know they're getting the book. It's funded. So, really there's not much else now they feel they need to do. I don't know. Everyone sort of thinks differently. Anyway, I am here. That was way quicker than normal. It usually takes about 10 minutes to get here. So I'll catch you guys later this afternoon, and I hope you have a lovely day. It's officially the last day of the Kickstarter. At this point, there's 6 hours left. Just under 6 hours. Just over 6 hours, I think. I've just been busy doing inking the pages, and I just uploaded the new Ink Splatter podcast, which is uploading now. So I hadn't even thought to film it. I thought, man, there's 6 hours. I should probably, put something up. At least film, document this final day. Because it's crazy. It's crazy. Definitely has been a rise in backers in the past day. We jumped from 2 days ago. We were still striving for that 3rd sketch goal. Just now, let's see if I can bring it up here. There it is. We've just hit the last stretch goal. So there's now an extra 8 pages to the book. We're $3,022 funded. There's still 6 hours to go, so it might even go higher than that. Mind blowing. Can't believe it's all over. Nearly. I don't even know. At this point, I'm just inking pages. I think it's just going to be the rest of my day. What's going through my mind right now? For the last day, I've just been looking forward to the Kickstarter being over. In a good way, like I'm not sick of it. But knowing that once the Kickstarter's done, I can 100% focus on getting the book finished and ready and printed. So, yeah. Just finishing up page 10 on the inks now. Still means I've got 14 pages left to do, so I really got to get my ass into gear and ink those. But every time I think, oh, better ink, it's I better do Kickstarter stuff as well, or I better promote it, or I better... and then I added more fuel by doing the podcast. I don't know why I did it now. I should have waited, but I enjoyed doing that. So there's that. Yeah, absolutely insane. So now, as I'm in the middle of inking, I'm going to have to post another update just to say, hey, we made the stretch goal. Let everyone know. Someone pointed out to me the other day that I've done 15 updates in the past 30 days. So that's nearly one every 2 days, which is crazy. But there's been some where I've updated like 2 or 3 times a day, so it sort of levels out where, I'll I wasn't too crazy. So I hope I haven't annoyed anyone. I feel like at least every update's been informative rather than just posting for the sake of posting. So yeah, and yesterday I think I posted 3 times. I finally got around to doing a product catalog, which was actually like a visual representation of all the things that you can get. Because I know it's easier for people when they have visual cues, and I know it's like I shouldn't have done it on the last day, but it was the point that I didn't actually have all that stuff ready when I launched the Kickstarter. Had I done it, things would have been different. But it definitely made a difference. I got a few people increasing their pledges or pledging, and then someone mentioned that because I already do the digital bundle and I did the add-ons. The digital reward plus I've got the add-ons. They suggested why don't I do a digital bundle which has all my books in digital format. So I did that. So if you get like $2 a book, and then I dropped down the Nevermorrow book down to $2 as well. So 5 digital books for $10, which I thought was pretty good. Yeah. So 6 hours, the countdown begins. I think from this point onwards, I've got buffer set to actually post every hour now, just to remind people. Just like, hey, 1 hour, 1 hour. Once it's done, I'm not going to be posting about it, so it doesn't really matter. It's one more day of posting, spamming and advertising, and then it's done. So, had a few people message me saying like they can't afford to and they're really sorry, which is cool. Like I understand that. I've been there before. I can't always pledge to every Kickstarter I want to. That's Cooper down there. He's having a little bark to himself. I think he might be dreaming. He's been going crazy all day. He just finished off a bone, so I think he's going to be in a food coma soon. Okay, I'll leave you alone. I'm going to post an update. Get back to inking. Camera's not straight. I'm tired now. Okay. If you haven't already, check out the Ink Splatter podcast, which will be uploaded soon. Now, I think it's uploaded. I'll check it out. Alright. I'll report back closer to the Kickstarter officially finishing. Okay, so it's just past 2 o'clock and I've decided that I'm going to take the dog for a walk. Just hit the $3,000 mark as you saw. So I spent the past half an hour or so just doing like a massive sort of push, just one last push, just saying, hey, we reached $3,000 now. If you back for any pledge, any physical pledge, you'll also be getting not only a free sticker and a free print, but you'll also be receiving a much bulkier book. And that also applies too for anyone who's got a digital reward, because that book will be included. Those 8 pages will be included in the PDF copy as well. So yeah, pretty exciting. But I was just getting a bit overwhelmed and a bit tired, so I thought maybe I should just take the dog for a walk, because it hasn't been in a few days anyway. Yeah, we're just kicking it, walking around the streets. Figured probably best to do it now before school finishes, because Cooper's not exactly a friendly dog when it comes to strangers, so he tends to get a bit snappy, so best to do it before all the kids get out. Yeah. So this is weird, I've never actually done sort of a video blog update while I'm sort of out walking. So it's not as bad as I thought it would be. I don't know, I thought I'd be more embarrassed, but I don't really care anymore. It's almost kind of like I'm just talking to my phone, so whatever. So, yeah, okay, Cooper's pooing now. Really? Come on. Other side. So yeah, I think that's going to be my last update for this whole campaign up until it finishes. So I've still got all the buffer stuff that's going to be updating, but now that all the stretch goals are met, which is awesome, I don't think I really need to push anymore. Like, I'm pretty happy with it. I'm pretty happy with where it's gone. I think 3,000 was quite a modest stretch goal amount, and I'll be happy if I don't go any further than that. So yeah, anyway, I'll leave you guys alone and I'm going to walk the dog. Goodbye. We're into minutes now. 87 minutes to go. I'm pretty happy with this result, man. Although we'll see what happens. Who knows? There's still an hour and a half left, so we might get some last minute pledges. Crazy. 10 minutes left. Ooh, slowly creeping up. Crazy times. Whoa. So I'm sitting at the computer like a big dork, just watching the countdown. At the moment, there's 8 minutes to go. I did one last push. I don't know if I should have done it, but I did, just in case. So like, hey man, there's like 20 minutes left, and I shared it just sort of on like the most popular sort of groups that I've been posting to. Got a couple backers, so worth it, I think. I mean, really at this point I don't need more backers, but some more people who get the comic as well. I mean, it's also got to remind myself, it's also about getting my book in people's hands. It's not so much just about making money, because most of this money doesn't go to me. It goes to the printers, it goes to Kickstarter, goes to the post office. This is just me wanting to get as many readers as possible. So, yeah. Soon. Should have set it like a tripod, so it was just like I'm filming the countdown. This is it. Now's the timer. Cooper's going crazy. He's excited too, aren't you, Cooper? Look at it. Less than a minute and a half now. 90 seconds. Whoa. The anticipation. Oh. I'm just going to assume there's not going to be like any other backers. I'm just like waiting to just see it tick over like one more time. Crazy. 65. Alright. There's officially 1 minute left to go. Wow. Let's see what happens. I'll make it as... So, I don't think it was being as hectic as what I thought it would be in the last couple of days. But it's definitely been a massive jump, which is cool. But I, for some reason, thought it would be way more hectic. And I think if I didn't push as much as I did in these last couple of days, probably would have made a big difference in how many people actually backed. So, yeah, I mean, there's no way of really knowing, you know, where it would have gone, better or worse if I hadn't. But I'm really happy with who we are. Alright, so there's 7, 6, 5, 4. Oh, I got one last minute pledge. That's crazy. 1. It's done. 0 seconds. It's finished. It's over. Is it going to tick over, or is it just going to sit on 0? What are you doing? You're finished. You're finished. It's finished. What happens? I'm going to click refresh and just see what happens. Maybe it just needs to reload the page. Refresh. I did it! We did it! You and 125 backers brought this project to life. It's time to start telling the next chapter of the story. The new spotlight page. Ooh, I can do new things. Update. direct fans to work. Ooh. Thank you guys so much. That was crazy. 30 days are done, the Kickstarter's done, and now it's time to draw. Yay! Hey Cooper. Good morning everybody. Welcome to day one post Kickstarter. It's Thursday the 3rd of June. I think it's the 3rd of June. I've lost track of all my dates and this month's going way too fast. So if that's true, officially we're halfway through the year, nearly. Wow. I'm having a baby in like 2 and a bit months. That is crazy. So it's time for me to get my gear into the Kickstarter. So as you saw, we did the countdown. It finished. We were successfully funded. Thank you everyone. Honestly, I don't think I could say thank you enough. I could probably say thank you for the rest of my life, and I feel like I wouldn't have still thanked everyone as much as I feel that I should have. So last night the Kickstarter finished. I celebrated with a glass of port and pretty much was straight back into work. So I chucked Harry Potter on. Decided, while I'm doing this, I'm gonna do a bit of a Harry Potter marathon. I've seen it enough times I don't have to focus on it, but it's still enjoyable to watch. I like those sorts of movies when I'm working, because I can still enjoy it. I can still sort of glance over every now and again, but I don't have to pay attention, and it's not going to distract me from the work that I'm doing. So the first thing on my agenda was I actually had to go back through all the pencils. Well, not all of them, about half of them. Any scene that would have had Ozma in it as a droid, when I originally drew the pencils, the majority of them didn't actually have her as a droid. She was actually going to be a part of the suit. She was sort of just installed in the suit, and the professor could hear her. And I decided, no, I want it to be an external character. I want people to see Ozma, and I wanted to have a bit more life to her, because she's an integral part to the comic book. So I jumped back on. I had all the notes done. When I redid the letters, I actually added in where Ozma was going to go, so it made it really easy. I just sort of had to open it up, at least just draw a quick circle in certain spots, or some had a bit more detail depending on how sort of large she was. But for the most part, it was easy. It took me half an hour, if not less. Before I did that too, I should note that I spent probably half an hour just doing thank yous and stuff. So I was all over Kickstarter, all over Facebook. Some people were private messaging me to say thank you, so I was just chatting to a lot of people there. It was pretty crazy again. It really reminded me actually of when I first started the Kickstarter, and everyone was trying to get in touch with me, and I was trying to get everyone to notice it. Whereas now it was sort of the opposite, where it was just the sort of the final part of it all. So all very exciting. Very thankful for everyone who said personal thanks, and there's been a few people who have actually worked quite hard to really help me out, and just out of their own kindness. So I went out of my way to personally thank them more so, just because I feel I've acknowledged the fact that they've helped me, and it's meant a whole lot. So if it wasn't for them, I probably wouldn't be where I am now. So after I did all the pencils, my next step was, because I finished page 10, to print out the next lot of pages so I can stick them to the backs of the comic board, and get inking on those. Now, what I didn't anticipate was, when I originally printed out all those other pages, it was in my old printer, the old monotone one, and that printer didn't print to the edge, so it automatically scaled my pages for me. I didn't think it was an issue because I didn't actually have the pages set up to print with border, or without a border, so I didn't realize it was auto scaling. So I printed a whole bunch of pages out, and obviously, as you know, I print, because I don't have my A3 printer set up, it's just A4, so I'm doing half and half, and then sort of restitching it myself once it's printed to meet that A3 size sort of scale. So I did that with 3 pages, so 6 A4 sheets, all cut up and ready to go. Went to start inking, went to line it up on the light box, and it was way bigger than my guidelines on the comic sheet. I thought, what the hell's going on? I spent maybe an hour scratching my head trying to figure this out, and at this point it'd been a massive day, so I was exhausted. So I thought, you know what, I'm giving up, I can't figure it out. I printed it out, I just kept trying different little things. I thought, fuck, what am I going to do? So it wasn't until this morning, once I had a clear head, and I highly recommend this sometimes, if you're just having a really tough time and you can't get something right, go to bed, sleep on it, more than likely come up with the answer in the morning, which I did. That was when I clicked and remembered that I had printed all this stuff, all the original pages on the old printer, and now I have the new printer which prints to the edge, which is fantastic, but not what I need at the moment. So what I ended up doing was, now I'm taking the pencil pages, because they're set up on a comic size template, like US standard, importing that onto an A4 sheet, and then what I have to do is I have to scale that down by 2% on both sides. Then I have to flatten the image so it flattens at A4. Then I need to resize that to A3, and then print the top half and the bottom half, and print it out that way. Because it's technically 11 by 17, it does overlap when I stick it together. But that little workaround means, and I just did a test because I'm on my way out now to catch up with someone who just finished a massive pre-order too. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, so I just figured out just before I left this morning to go out. So all I need to do is make that 2% adjustment. So it's a little bit of extra fiddling around, but what I'm probably going to do is I'm just going to do the whole whack in one hit, and then I don't have to worry about it later on. And if I do, I'm going to make a note anyway, so I know. There's been a few things where I've had to do that, where even just like the line weights of borders and things like that, just to make sure that everything's correct. Yeah, so that's where I'm at. I'm off for coffee now with Julian, Mr. Julian Briones, if you haven't heard of him. He's a sculptor. You can check him out on Instagram as Conquering Alien. And he does some amazing sculpts, and like I said before, he just finished up a pre-order. I think he did a pre-order of about maybe 20 custom vinyl Cthulhu priests. Really, really rad. I picked one up myself as well, just to, you know, help support him and, you know, have some fancy shit on my desk. Get in here. Thank you, Mr. Four-Wheel Drive. So yeah, I'm gonna go celebrate with him, have a cuppa. I might, if he lets me, I'll film the little sculpture too. So I think this is a venture that he's going to start doing more often, where he starts doing more resin sculpts of, you know, his originals, hand painting them and selling them. And from memory, it was only $70 plus postage. So like if you're in the US, that was even cheaper. I think it was like $64 for a hand painted resin sculpture. Yeah, pretty cool. Dude's got super mad talent, and I wish the best for him. So it's good to see him finally taking that leap, and I hope he starts to do more as well. Yeah. Alright, I will catch you guys later. Have a lovely day. What's going on now? It's Saturday morning. I'm on my way to work. It's a horribly grim, drizzly day. The kind of day I love, especially if I'm working, because generally it means it's going to be quiet. It's not always right. It's not a perfect system, but fingers crossed. I've actually got a piece of art that I'm actually doing for the shop to promote their Mepsi markers. So technically, yeah, if it's quiet, I'll be doing that, which means I'm still doing work, and I'll probably just use the store's markers, because, well, they don't pay me enough to use my own. So yesterday, I was pretty much just getting comic stuff done. I had one quick last minute client job came through yesterday, and I thought, well, if I do it, then it's done. It took me a couple of hours, but I did it. I was also going to hang out with Kevin Cross. He's doing weekly hangouts at the moment for all his Patreons. I think who pledged, I think it's like $3 or $5 or up. So caught that one with Ox and Gaz were there, which was really cool to catch up with them. Gaz was having some issues setting it up so we could sort of hear him, even though he didn't know we could hear him, and it was pretty funny. So that was good. And then once that was done, cooked myself some dinner, chilled out, watched a bit of TV with the dog, then cleaned up, so I didn't have to worry about that later. Chucked Harry Potter on, and then I printed out all of the pages, which was just mind-numbing. Just, my God. I mean, I know it's not, the best way to do it. Print out 2 A4 sheets, cut it up, stick it together, all that, make sure it all fits and blah, blah, blah. But I did it. It took me all night. There's still 2 pages left because the last page has been extended into 2 pages, which I think I've already mentioned in previous posts. So I haven't actually finished that bit yet, so I'm going to redo that. But the last panel on page 23 will be the whole page on 24. So really, I've just got to fill in the gaps on page 23. So it won't be too long. It'll just sort of the character sort of finally gets a chance to sit down and eat. So I'll just sort of expand on that. Yeah, I won't say too much because obviously it's going to spoil the whole thing. Yeah, so I managed to do that. I got up to page 22 printed out, stuck together. This afternoon when I get home, I'm going to sit at the light box, and then I need to actually line them up with the ruled lines on the comic board, and then stick those down. So there's a whole bunch more sticking, but this is the same process I did a while back when I did the first 10 pages. But once it's done, then they're done. All I need to do is just pull the page out and just start inking it. I don't have to worry about it. So, my camera's shaking a bit there. Yeah, so anyway, I'm off to work now. I'm running a bit late because I had to get petrol and I completely forgot. So hopefully, I'm nearly there anyway. Yeah, so I just thought I'd do a quick update, seeing as I'm on my way. And I'm doing nothing, just chatting to myself and singing to myself. Yeah, so I don't think there's much else to say at the moment until I get back into inking. Yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Morning, guys. It's Sunday morning. Just want to do a quick update. It's 11 o'clock, so it's nearly lunchtime. I've been wasting my morning. Not so much wasting. I got up early. I've been doing a sketch for my Patreons. I've decided that I need to, now that the Kickstarter's over, I can use that excess time that I was marketing everything to promote, to start, giving back to my Patreons again. Because they were pretty patient last month. They didn't get a whole lot, so I need to start creating more content for them. And I'm also using that as a base point to just design random characters, random ideas, and maybe something will come of it. Once Nevermorrow's done, I can actually go back through them and go, oh, okay, yeah, I really like that. Maybe I can develop a story based on that. And just have that as just a little side project. Nothing heavy with the baby coming. I don't want to do anything super time investing, but maybe some comic strips or just some random pages here and there, and eventually put a book together. I don't know. That's the thought. But last night, someone posted a picture on Instagram, which I knew instantly. I saw the picture, I'm like, that's a scene from this TV show. I'm going to be very vague in saying this because I don't really sort of want to reveal myself to it. But what I did was I used a sort of like a fake Instagram account, which was an old one I had set up for promoting something else, which I never used. So I thought, okay, I'll just use this. And I wasn't mean, I wasn't angry, I wasn't attacking them. I just said, hey, this is a picture from the TV show. Why didn't you do something original instead of copying it? And they got defensive straight away. Now, if any of you listen to my podcast, I hate art theft. I absolutely hate it. So I retaliated, and I said no. They said something like, they used it, they heavily referenced it, but changed it to their style. I'm like, no, I googled this within 30 seconds, and it's almost identical to what you've drawn. The only difference is you've painted it rather than done a cell shading like the cartoon was. And they got super defensive about it, and I'm like, look, I'm not attacking you, I'm just saying, like, you have a talent, you're clearly a good artist, just use that and create your own content. I'm like, I don't care if you do fan art. Fan art's fine if that's what you want to do, but don't blatantly copy someone. And then, to make things worse, was they'd actually planned to sell this at an upcoming convention, and on top of that, they also commented and trying to guilt me, saying, oh, well, I'm not going to sell it at the con now, I hope you're happy. By the way, someone stole my art a couple of years ago, and that's why I watermark everything, blah, 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 blah. Like, if you've been a victim of art theft, then why are you copying someone else's art and claiming it as your own? Especially without even referencing the fact that you used someone's art for heavy reference. So I was really disgusted by it. And then someone came up and attacked me this morning, like, no, how can you attack them? They're human, blah, blah, blah. And I said, look, the reason I have this account is because I want to protect my identity, but I've been attacked. I've been extremely burned for outing someone publicly for art theft, and I'm sick of it and I hate it. And if someone's copying art, then I have a right to tell them that they shouldn't be copying someone's art, or at least crediting it, etc., etc. It went on. So I decided that account that I was using, I've now changed it to say no to art theft. And the idea is anyone who finds art theft, it can submit it to me, along with the reference. I will never out someone unless there's proof that they're actually stealing someone's art, along with the hashtag say no to art theft. I want to make it a thing. I want more people to start speaking out about this, because I can use this page as sort of a anonymous thing, because I'm sure no one's going to watch this video and find it anyway. I can start tagging artists and saying, you're committing art theft, stop it, do something original. I don't want people to stop creating art, but I want people to stop using art, stealing people's art and not crediting them. I think it's just completely wrong. So that put a bit of a wedge in my day, in my morning. So I created this page and just a couple of little images and stuff. You can check it out, Say No to Art Theft, give it a follow if you want. If you know anyone, you're more than welcome to submit and I'll repost it. But now I can finish this quick sketch that I'm doing, which I'll put up on here, and ink for the rest of the day. That's my plan. So, digital drawing for the morning, traditional inks in the afternoon. Luke's coming around this afternoon for a cuppa with his family. I can't wait to play with his little daughter and see Sam and catch up with them. And then Jazz finishes, I think she gets home about 4, and then we can kick back for the rest of the day. I'll probably still ink till about 5. I reckon I can get a couple of pages done today if I get my butt into gear. So, just want to update you guys. That's been on my mind, and I really wanted to get that out because it's just been pissing me off. I fucking hate art theft. I really do. And if you're gonna fucking do it, at least credit the fucking artist and tell someone you can do it. And don't even try and fucking profit off it, because that's just a dog act. You can tell I'm passionate. I don't give a fuck. Fuck them. Bye.
Good morning, folks. It is Monday morning. As usual, I'm off to work again. It's only 3 days a week, so I can't complain, even though I still do regularly. Just means it's 3 days that I can't be at home in my studio working on my stuff. So, yesterday was pretty busy. After I updated, I was just inking, so now I am halfway through page 12. So I've got one page and a half inked. So my original plan was 2, but obviously I distracted myself, as I'd mentioned earlier, and sort of shot myself in the foot. But I feel like I still got plenty done. I was happy with the end result. Page 12 is a little bit more detailed than some of the other pages. So what I did end up doing was I got every single page, because everything stuck together, put everything in a light box, and I ended up just ruling all the panel borders. So that took up a bit of time. So I imagine if I didn't do that, I probably would have finished page 12. But now when I go to do those pages, that's just one thing I don't have to worry about doing. I can just pick it up and start inking. One of the main reasons I've done it is because I'm noticing a little bit inking some of these pages that the pen I'm using isn't I don't know if it's not waterproof or it's just not drying as quickly on the page that I've got, but I am getting slight smudges, nothing that I can't fix in post when I scan everything into the computer, but I want to try and avoid that. So one, I did think about getting some new pens just to try them out, but at the same time it'll kill the feel of the whole book. So I really want to keep those markers at least till the end of the book, and then I'll probably swap them out, because originally I really loved them, but now for what I'm doing I'm not a big fan of them. I think the next book too I'm going to do digitally. As much as I love doing traditional, digital just means I can work way faster, do colours without stressing and stuff, but that's the next project, that doesn't matter. So hopefully now I've done the lines, they'll be fully dry by the time I come to ink them, and that's an issue I can avoid. On top of that, it allowed me to sort of look at the pages again and sort of see what is ahead. I know what's ahead, but just give me a refresher on what the pages are going to be like. And some of the pages are just a lot of face shots, like when the character actually meets people. There's a lot of conversing. So where at the beginning of the book is just a lot of scenery and a lot of beauty, the second half of the book is more social and conversing. I won't say much more than that. So I'm looking forward to getting to those, because then I can get them out a little bit quicker. But for the moment, while the astronaut is still exploring the world, I'm still creating environments and things like that. So it's making it a bit tougher, but I'll get there. Like I said, in a couple of pages time, it'll be a breeze, hopefully. My plan is, I think today's like the 6th or the 7th. I think it's the 6th today. I want to try and get this book inked by the 20th. Inked and scanned in by the 20th. That's my goal, because then that gives me 10 days, so a week and a half to realistically put the book together and get it off to the printers. So the printer that I have, I know, is extremely quick on print times, usually within the week, from what I've heard. He's in the next state, but he uses a really quick courier, and yeah, they're printing jobs, unless something bad happens, it's like bang. So I will get a proof first, of course, just to make sure everything's okay, all the lettering's fine, that the book prints well, but there's no bleeds or anything in this, so I don't think there's going to be any issues for this issue. So I'm feeling pretty confident that the printer's going to do a good job. So if that happens, that means that I can hit my deadline of early to mid-July, which I've told everyone. I've still got, this morning I spent a bit of time doing my to-do list of what I've got to do now that the Kickstarter's over. As far as the comic goes, I've got to finish all the pages. I've got to write the story, or finish writing the story, because most of it's done. It's definitely laid out, it's just I've got to flesh it out. What else? I've got to do the bonus stretch goal print, which I sketched out this morning. And I've still got to finish colouring the sticker, so that's mostly finished. I've just got to finish the rendering colours, but I was really struggling with it, so I might even change some things, but now that the flats are done, it'll be easy to change things around anyway. I think that was it. Oh, and get postage bags and things, so that, all sort of the other side of it, which really doesn't sort of matter too much. I just got to get them ordered, they come in, that's the end of it. Yeah, so, and on top of that, pardon me, on top of that, I've got to do a bunch of commissions as well. So nothing too big and nothing too rushed. There's one that I really want to get finished just as quick as possible, hopefully. Just because they've been waiting a little while, they've been super patient, but they did have to change the design completely. So I think that gives me a little bit more leeway as well. I
I've got one portrait which is for a very close friend, and she's sort of very open for time. And the other one, I've told, it's a big job, but I've told them that I'm pretty busy for the next month or so. But she said their deadline's, you know, not for a while, so I can sort of push that aside. But as soon as this comic's done, it's like bang, straight onto it, because I'm now in that frame of mind with the Kickstarter finished. Like, I really just want to get this book done now, because now I've got to focus on making and earning money for my family and making this a legible thing. Otherwise, I still need to look for full-time work. Luckily, my wife will be on maternity leave, and she'll be getting, you know, all of her maternity pay and annual leave and things like that coming out for a few months, which gives me a bit of leeway. But I don't want to rely 100% on that. We should really be trying to save that and live off my earnings, which would be ideal. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, at the moment it's just, yeah, I've got this comic done. Okay, so I'm nearly at work again. I think I'll end the video here. I won't bother later. I'll do my quick shout outs. First shout out is to Jeffrey Chumba Cruz for jumping onto the Ink Splatter podcast last week. Thanks so much for your help, dude. I know it took a little bit of time for us to get it sorted, but I think the episode came out great. Marsh Makes Art and Mike Emirates. I'm pretty sure I'm up to date on both of you guys now. I haven't been commenting as much, just for no particular reason, but I have been liking your videos. Scott, I'm assuming I haven't seen too many of his videos except for the Artcasters one and his wrap up for the for his Kickstarter, which went great gun. So he's probably busy, but congratulations again to you, Scott. Jan's nearly at the end of his 100 days. I think last I looked he's at like day 90 or 91, which is just amazing. Congratulations, Jan. I'm really loving your videos, and I'm really loving the whole scenery videos too. They're awesome. Now there's a few other people who have just started their 100 days, which I haven't got around to checking out. So if you're watching this video and I haven't commented on your 100 days that you've just begun, I do intend to watch them probably later this week, once I finally catch up on some other things. So I'm looking forward to seeing all you guys' stuff. Alright, so that's me out for the week. I hope you guys have had a fantastic week. Thank you for watching if you've made it this far. I really appreciate it, and I really appreciate everyone's support. Thank you again, everyone who's backed the Kickstarter. You're all friggin' awesome, and I can't wait to make more amazing comics for you guys. Have a lovely day, and I'll see you next week. Bye.